Hello, and today we'll begin the newest update of Eden's Reach. As this was happening, possible perimeter, Oz, footsteps in the distance. Might want to try speeding things up. I can only work as fast as this damn flash drive can clear through the bank's data per soft lock. Sorry if I'm still too fucking slow, alright? Someone's coming. 93, 95, 97. Guy, let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, but please don't hurt me. Shit, he's gonna round the corner to the alarms. Oz. Got it. His body fucking triggered the alarms. We're gonna be in the dark room. We're gonna be in the dark soon. We can still make it out here before our power comes online. Come on. A few minutes go by and Ray and I, trying our best to distance ourselves from the group of lions. I'm not sure if they have us figured out. I'm not sure they have us figured out, but I'm not going to risk it at all. I pretend to be busy with the sound panels, and Ray does the same with the bar. A few lions pass by, but Diego lingers a bit and leans on one of the foundations of the stage. This is so boring. Why'd I even let him rope me into this job? I glance this way, and our eyes meet a bit. I flinch a little and quickly look downwards as my muscles tense slightly. You agree with me, right? Shit, he's talking to me again. I managed to give him a sheepish nod to which the lion scoffs himself. Guess you're too busy looking prim for these folks, eh? Well, guess there ain't no decent convo to be had here. Suddenly, his form stiffens, quickly focusing on his hearing. He steps out of the foundations and looks above. The chandeliers seem to be lightly swaying. He squints to protect his eyes from the dust particles falling off the metal poles of the ceiling. Suddenly, the alarms start blaring and the crowd enters, a confused panic inching away before going on a full sprint towards the doors. I'm taken aback as well, the blaring reds of alarms I didn't know existed, putting me in a bit of a daze. A grip fastens itself on my arm, and my gaze directly falls into Ray. Come on, we gotta get out of here. He pulls on my arm to convince me to come with him, but his hold loosens when a familiar form appears before us, followed by a trail of yellow light. It was a Fennec. His outfit had completely changed to something of a familiar emblem. The Omega sign. This Fennec's part of the Omega Squad. Guard the perimeter. I'll evacuate the civilians. Diego nods before the Fennec disappears again with that same yellow trail. I look behind me, expecting Ray to be there, but he's nowhere to be found. Hussy, get your ass off the floor, and Woolen all of a sudden shouts from a distance. Diego, get the cover. Diego does a double take on Roland and me. Stay low. I'll tell you when the coast is clear. Diego pounces for a nearby table and hoists himself upwards, vaulting over it as the storage room doors burst open, metal clanging on the marble floor, with smoke trailing as he falls. Two silhouettes emerge from the smoke as I lay low under the sound panel desk. I peek on the top of the panel for a moment, only to see Benji donning his mask and who I assume to be Oswald, who's done away with his tux and into an entirely different outfit that I haven't seen him in before. His red tattoo glows vibrantly against the red alarms. Its glow remains against the weakened power lines which cut off the alarm system. So much for a classy exit. I look around me, glancing towards a crouched down Diego, who was looking at me intensely, his mouth a few words at me before tightening his lean on the table. Stay hidden. He slowly peeks through the corner of the table before eyeing me again. He then readjusts his position to face me, looking intent to bolt towards me. I go and brace for what I expect is going to be the most intense impact of my life. He takes a deep breath and he violently rushes towards me in the motion of reaching for me under the sound panels. I close my eyes tightly, hearing only his muffled footsteps quickly approaching. Then I hear a loud bang come from the opposite side. Did Oswald shoot that? I hesitate to open my eyes, unsure whether I'll see a body in front of me. I'll open one eye and I see a blurry figure hunched over. With my fear slowly being realized, I open my eyes fully. To my surprise, he's still breathing. There's another figure standing tall in front of Diego, a bullet trapped in between its fingers. It was the Defendant Fox, who began to twirl the empty bullet on his knuckles. You're welcome. Suddenly, Roland peeks from the cover even farther back. Diego. Before the older lion's presence sinks in for me, another loud bang comes from the other side, and the Defendant reacts in no time, disappearing once more in a flash. Before I managed to even blink, the Defendant was already holding the other bullet. In his hand, he glares at Oswald and Benji, just as the wolf unloads the empty casing from the chamber before quickly firing 2 consecutive shots. Both bullets are blocked in the same way as the previous 2. The Defendant then drops all the bullets onto the floor. How barbaric. I look back to Oswald and Benji. The 2 hastily move to find cover, then I inch towards them, making sure Diego doesn't see me doing so. Shit. That Defendant's fast, unnaturally fast. I say bet to assume that's our Mega Squad pain in the ass. Doesn't matter. If he can be shot, he's another kill. Bullets aren't going to hit him easily though. Not while he's focused. Goes the long way around. Distract him. Make sure to watch my back then. Benji sighs before he peeks through the opposite corner of their cover. The Defendant, in contrast, balances on top of one of the unpinned tables proudly. Well then, you 2 must be part of that group that's been causing trouble for us. Whatever it is you plan on doing, it ends here, all thanks to me, Vayu, the shooting star. Before Vayu could finish his floors, Oswald shoots once again. This causes our Mega Squad member to dodge sideways as that yellow trail envelops his form. His speed and agility, he's able to go from one point to the next in a blink of an eye. Is this what Alice meant when she said that the Mega Squad is filled with super soldiers? Shit, arrogant little prick. Oswald looks back to his cover, loosening his grip on his rifle. He tosses it up in the air. It dissipates into hard light before the lions manage to see it. I pick a bit to the side, and that's when Oswald's head tilts in my direction. No fucking way. Oswald. Suddenly, bullets start chipping off the corners of the table, thinning out Oswald's cover. He responds rather He responds right away by sticking a device onto the underside of the table, coating it in a hard light shield. What do I do? Oswald taps his tattoo again. A new gun appears on his hand shortly after. Just try not to get in the way. And don't die. Lewis peeks again, observing the impromptu battlefield before then. 3 Row Lions, presumably called by Roland and Diego, now litter the building. Oswald lowers once more, spinning his body to have his feet face the table. He then bends his knee, followed by a swift and forceful kick on the table, pushing it forward in the direction of the lions. As the table flies, Oswald uses his free hand to push himself in the same. As the table flies, Oswald uses his free hand to push himself in the same direction. Incoming. Oswald's cover stops just a few inches from the first row of lions. Oswald's quick to act, though. He raises a hard light behind him to extend from the side of the table towards the ceiling. He repositions himself with haste, already ready to fire. 2 lions peek out from their cover in tandem with Oswald. With very little hesitation, Oswald shoots. His bullets pass through the hard light from his side while simultaneously deflecting the bullets on the other. Both lions fall to the ground, their blood oozing onto the marble flooring. Holy fuck. I suddenly feel very weak as I see the lions' lifeless bodies on the floor. Oswald also just killed 2 men right in front of me without a second thought. Part of me wants to avoid all this bloodshed to crawl up a corner of the room and just ignore all the bullets flying around. But at the same time, I didn't have any time to process the rest of my thoughts at all as Oswald vaults over the cover of the first row, attaching the hard light emitter onto the other table. He twists it to face the other 2 rows before the hard light covers rise again. Oswald prepares to fire. However, a barrage of bullets flies from the 3rd row. Several lions standing up to fire at the wolf, including Diego and Roland. The hard light breaks from the barrage, forcing Oswald to duck for immediate cover. The lions continue to shoot, but while they are focused their fire on Oswald, 2 of the lions fall to the floor all of a sudden. Coming from the corner of everyone's vision, a saddled figure jumps from cover to cover. Their cloak is the only thing that signifies anyone being in the cover by the other side of the room. Benji. While the other lions have their focus on Benji, one of them from the 2nd row starts rushing towards Oswald with a hard light shield. The lion vaults over the table, cornering Oswald with his cover. The wolf tries to shoot, but he's swiftly blocked and disarmed. I instinctively almost screamed Oswald's name, but managed to stop. Just stand down. Oswald doesn't speak as the shield continues to push down onto him. All of a sudden, he holds onto his rim with both hands. In one quick motion, he gets the shield out of the way and headbutts his assailant, putting them into a daze. In another short moment, he reaches for the rifle, which was only an arm's reach away, but the gun instead gravitates towards Oswald, landing perfectly in his grip. With his other hand, he takes the table behind him and lifts it with one hand before slamming it onto the lion, incapacitating them. The lion's roar of pain is cut short by Oswald's bullet flying straight through his forehead. While he's preoccupied with his assailant, the other lions from the 3rd row take a stand and attempt to take a few shots at their enemy. As they shoot, however, none of their bullets manage to travel far as a golden trail weaves in between them and Oswald, seemingly catching the bullets mid-flight. Another set of lions arrives to shoot. Benji emerges from his cover as well, and they try to trade a few bullets, but the golden trail once again weaves in between the ensuing gunfire. When both sides were done, they both lowered back to their respective covers. I crawled closer to the central stage, giving me a bit of a visual of the lion side. Vayu, what in blazes are you doing? From the golden trail materializes the Phoenix. His hands full of bullets, he drops them, which results in the sounds of hollow metal falling to the floor. Opening fire is a huge hazard. I'm trying to minimize any threats and hazards to the people, whether it comes from the intruders or from you lions. Yeah. Vayu tugs onto his scarf, taking a breath before dashing once more into his signature golden blur. In an instant, he appears in the direction of Benji's cover. In one swift motion, he takes a raccoon and flings him with great speed into the open. The thief slams into the central stage, dazed. No more games for you savages. Time to come out of hiding. Diego, now! Ordered. Noticing the raccoon exposed, he rushes out of cover at full speed. Without hesitation, Oswald reveals himself, intending to take a shot at Diego, but his vision is immediately obscured by Vayu appearing in front of him. Caught you. Though the Phoenix is smaller, it doesn't stop him from kicking Oswald clean in the face. Oswald stumbles to the right of the stage, somehow managing to keep a firm grip on his gun. Vayu is quick to react and disarms the wolf with another kick, forcing the wolf to loosen his hold and allowing Vayu to fling the gun away. With Oswald distracted, Vayu restrains the wolf with a heart-like blade. On the other side of the hall, Diego successfully catches Benji off guard, not allowing the raccoon to stand his ground with his gun. Benji attempts to push the line off of him, but Diego is too strong. Both sides are in a deadlock of strength, and Benji needs something to change the tide in his favor. Come on, Adrian, think. What could tip the scales? I frantically look around for something to help. There's a metal pole next to me. No, I was getting shot down. Maybe the curtains? They might be too far for me to take them unnoticed. What can I use here? Suddenly I noticed something from the corner of my eye. Benji's pistol. It's definitely within arm's reach, but there's only one pistol. I need to decide who needs it more. Gotta even the odds. Oswald just needs an opening. I quickly reach for the pistol, flicking it to Oswald's direction. The wolf quickly takes notice of the gun, taking the Phoenix by surprise as the hitman pulls him by his non-metallic arm. Oswald takes the pistol, aiming it directly on the Omega Squad member's face, causing Vayu to retreat backward in a golden flash. Oswald reaches for his rifle, the gun floating to his hands as he immediately takes more shots towards his adversary, with Vayu retreating to a far corner. Meanwhile, Diego and Benji were still stuck at deadlock. Diego tries his best to restrain the raccoon, but Benji doesn't budge at all. Suddenly, a bullet pierces through Benji's shoulder, blood gushing through the hole. Roland sought Benji to beat the deadlock. Shit, I had it under control. Benji lifts the now injured adversary before, but Diego now lifts the injured adversary before him, slamming the raccoon to the wall. You're welcome. Also hides behind the cover, our intercoms powering up on my interpiece. I'll cover you from the Finnick. Go help Benji. The wolf throws back the pistol my way. I quickly nod and crawl close to Benji's position, the thief now helplessly suspended in the air by Diego's grip. I quickly take some cover close to Benji, the raccoon struggling to put up a fight. Roller and Diego quickly close in on their prey, their faces filled with now unbridled rage. It's quite intimidating to even stare at this whole situation, but at the same time, I can't take my eyes off the raccoon while he's in danger. I quickly survey my surroundings once more, seeing if there's anything I can use to help Benji. Of course, I had his pistol and maybe a few quick shots will do the trick. There's also the sound panel that got dropped when the tables were all upturned. Though the wires were all jumbled now, it's surprisingly still working. I need to set it up again, and it'll take some time if I could replicate the feedback from earlier. As I continue to find anything useful that could help Benji, the raccoon quickly screams in pain as the lions push him deeper into the marble walls. I had to make up my mind fast. Maybe just hollowing their way would be enough. Let's try the sound system. Alright, gotta move fast. I quickly straighten the sound panels as I fumble through the wires and settings. I try my best to remember what caused the feedback, at least as close as I can to it. Pressure keeps piling on as I hear Benji struggling in the background. My gaze tunnel vision on making sure this gamble works. With one final twist of a knob, a high-pitched roar from the speakers rages through the hall, disorienting everybody in the building. I couldn't see if Benji was able to escape, but at the very least that should keep the lions busy. I couldn't even process moving when Vayu quickly appears before me and tosses me out of the cover. In one swift motion, both of my arms are locked in hard-light restraints. My attempts to stand forcibly stopped by the Finnick's surprisingly strong step. A third nuisance. It seems sane it has to be a husky, bunching up with a raccoon, of all things. He's not. Silence. They'll join you soon. From the distance, I hear the faint screams of a familiar voice. Adrian! I see Benji's feet, each step reverberating through the floor. He stands tall in the open field, outside of any cover. I hear the lions trying to raise their weapons, ready to shoot, but the Finnick quickly stops them. I said no guns, you numbskulls. You can't get that in your... A firm step from Benji interrupts the Finnick. Shit, fast fucker. Try to level the playing field. Benji drags the soles of his shoes on the floor repeatedly. Vayu's hold on me only tightens as his foot on my back puts more force on it. Gah. Alright. Benji kneels, striking a pose very similar to sprinters in an Olympic race. Soul drifters activate. In the instant, a sudden burst of wind blows across us, the impact catching the Finnick off guard. As the weight of his foot loosens on me, I feel someone lift me during the chaos. It was Benji, who was already on the move. The second Vayu and the lions were able to recover. But hey, Hang tight, Adrian. Suddenly, there was a whirring below me that got louder and louder, with both Benji and I propelled forward in tandem with it. For that second, I drifted just a bit from the raccoon's back, but my restraints dissolved with it. My reflexes pushed me to hold on to Benji before both of us went flying across the other end of the building. What's going on? Oh fuck. Benji and I are moving so fast that everything was a blur. And now the pillars and walls stopped over momentum. He swerved with great precision and even lanced to any walls he could get his hands on. He's motion coursing through my entire body. But what is this? It's my shoes. They're like really high-grade roller skates. Now hold on, I'll distract him. Benji uses one of his skates to take a quick turn towards the lines. The raccoon unwaveringly tunnel vision onto a straight trajectory. From my peripherals, however, Vayu quickly shows himself, lunging to grab hold of me and Benji. Despite that, Benji presses on, causing the defendant to miss by a few inches. Shit, that breakdance invention is better work. From Benji's flowing cloak, the raccoon takes out 2 canisters. He gives them a quick shake before tossing them at Roland and Diego's feet. Both canisters explode in a cloud of smoke, spreading even after that. Holy crap, smoke bombs? Yeah, the cat's new tech. They're at my doorstep just before this whole fuckfest. Now put your mask on. I do as he says and activate my mask, causing it to materialize on my muzzle. Once that was done, Benji quickly turns around, back in the direction of the smoke cloud. As we make a slingshot of ourselves into the fray, Vayu appears in front of us, clear annoyance and anger on his face. Alright, that's it. You idiots are gonna know your fucking place. Vayu rushes at us into a golden trail, but Benji doesn't falter. Instead, he leans down as he flings me upwards, causing a gap to form between us. As Vayu materializes at the end of his trail, he misses again, caught in the gap between the two of us. In one quick motion, Benji flings another canister at the defendant and grabs me, leaving me little time to react as we enter the smoke cloud. Holy shit, how'd he do that? It's blinking around. It has a sign of his endpoint. Just had to figure out where it was. Now let's leave him blazes, Adrian. Right. We accelerate as Benji's shoulder pockets light up, the openings trailing smoke as well. Wherever we go, we left a trail of smoke behind us, the raccoon leaping into the air to avoid the tables as they come into view. Before I know it, we were out of the cloud, Benji holding 2 canisters in each hand. Also, target practice. From our sides, Benji peeks out of his cover, with Benji flicking one canister after another into the air. Oswald quickly takes shots at them, the bombs explode in midair. The clouds enveloped the center of the hall, with Benji turning around once more. He begins to circle the large smoke cloud, the smoke following the wind that blew past us. A few rounds slowly turn the cloud into a twister of smoke, further disorienting Vayu and Alliance. When all said and done, Benji stops spinning around, sliding just by Oswald's side. Come on, let's get out of here while they're disoriented. Benji drops me down gently as we all makes a run for the back entrance of the ground floor. We quickly reach it without a hitch. which is a relief given how the rest of the mission went. As Bertie flings the door open, Corvus was there waiting for us in the alley. Even, Corvus, open the doors. So we continued. So that's all of Eden's Reach for now. Don't know when a new update will come out. Who knows? Maybe sometime next year, but that was everything so far, and it looks like Adrian survived his first mission, and it looks like the mission was a success, I guess. It seemed that they got what they wanted a while back, and it was just a bunch of fighting and just a bunch of fighting and afterwards. They also got some information that they wanted from this event. So yeah, you're always playing liar. If this game gets a new update, then I'll play it. I'll start a playthrough of it. I'm really waiting on this game to get a new update for me to start playing it. But while we do liar, we're up to date with all of that. Project New Moon, I guess. Yeah, that's the project. I guess these are people behind A Fall for Grace. A Fall from Grace, excuse me, not for Grace, but A Fall from Grace. This is the people behind that game here, Project New Moon. He used the sound system, and that was able to help things with them being able to escape. So he has a lot of quick thinking. He thinks very quick and fast. He's very innovative, and I believe that's what Oswald likes about him so much. So we got to see a different side of Oswald. That he's very focused on the mission, like all that part of him we've seen throughout the whole story so far. All that went away, and all he cares about is a mission. So he was very cold and just didn't care that he shot and killed 2 people. I believe that the greater good is what he cares about. If it meant killing some people or opposing side, that's what he would have to do. I do kind of hope Diego is okay. I think he was still breathing even when he got hit. He was still on the floor lying down, but he was breathing, so hopefully he's okay. I mean, yeah, he's on the other side here. He's really an opponent of ours, but I kind of like him. Hopefully he's okay. But it seems though some of his fellow colleagues in the whole line group, well, I wouldn't even say, well, it's obvious that they're dead. I wouldn't say it looks like, but they're obviously two or three of his colleagues are obviously dead. They were lying on the ground like getting shot, and there were blood pouring out of them. So, unfortunately for him, his fellow lions are dead. And the conversation I had about at the end of the last video about different species in a hierarchy, it seems as though Vayu, when he found out that Adrian is part of the group, part of Oswald and Benji's group, when he found out, he was kind of disappointed because he really said that he was disappointed that a Husky would affiliate itself, that a Husky like Adrian would affiliate himself with this group. So it seems as though he holds Huskies in higher regard than wolves or raccoons or whatever group say about, but wolves and raccoons and lions. Yeah, he seems to hold Huskies in higher regard than lions, raccoons, and wolves. In a way, that bull who is like an informant for Benji and Adrian, he quite didn't remember seeing him. The bull said he was at the bar when Adrian was DJing. And we look at the galleries, you see him here. This is him right here. Yeah, so he was clearly right there, and he was very happy with Adrian's performance there. Yeah, so all the technology that both, I think Ellie, her name is, the cat and the tigress, all the technology they made, all of it worked. And it helped them out a whole lot. So they're very great at what they do with all the equipment they make for them. And we haven't seen the tiger, that hot-headed tiger, in a little while. Yeah, I guess he's doing some other stuff with the team. I don't know if he mentioned what he was doing, but I forgot what he said during that team meetup about how to look back. But anyway, it looks like things worked out for this mission. We'll just have to see the aftermath of it next time. So, hope y'all enjoyed Eden's week so far. See, I can't talk a lot of times. Like, sometimes I try to say something like I just can't speak it, And this computer's heating up, so I'll go ahead and stop now. So hope y'all enjoy Eden's Reach, and thank y'all very much for watching. Goodbye.